welcome to Paxton.Pantry. I'm Faith, and today we are going to cook up some summer specials for you. I've got one-stop cooking. We took some chicken breast, put it inside of our crock pot, cooked it for several hours with barbecue sauce. My husband's homemade barbecue sauce. It was delicious. And out of that one crock pot full of chicken, we're gonna get 4 different meals. Today, we're gonna make the first of the 4 meals, and that's gonna be our barbecue chicken quesadillas with chipotle mayo and mango salsa. It's delicious. I can't wait for you to try that. I just wanna remind you, check out Paxton.Pantry.com. Check out Paxton.Pantry on Instagram and Facebook. We've got breads that we're gonna start selling for the Portland area, and just some fun things on our website so you can be looking at, and we'll see you on there. Let's get started cooking.
So who's ready for some fun, food, and faith? That's right, you are. And we're gonna have all of those right here in the Paxton Pantry.
All right, so like I said before, we already have our chicken that's already cooked. I usually put my chicken in a crock pot before I go to bed. That way in the morning, it's ready and waiting for me. So I've got that chicken cooked. I'm just gonna finish shredding it with my fork. Just chop it up like that, make it into some small pieces. And you can go ahead and put a large amount of chicken in, put more than you need. I mean, even though we're using this for 1 meal today, I know I'm gonna do 4 meals out of this, so I might buy a family. Well, I have a huge family anyway, so I might buy 2 extra family packs, put it in my crock pot and just cover it with the barbecue sauce. Let it cook for 6 hours on low, 3 to 4 on high. When you wake up in the morning, it's ready for you just to start shredding it with your fork. And then you can divvy it out into sandwich baggies, Ziploc baggies, you just put it in there and say, okay, I'm gonna pull out a little bit for dinner tonight. I'm gonna put a little bit aside for the next day or for lunch. And you've done all the cooking for 4 meals in 1 night. Or a majority of the cooking at least. This is gonna be super, super simple. And if you're like me and you don't like to be in the kitchen during the summer because it's hot, this is the perfect meal because you don't have to turn on your oven, you don't have to get super hot. It's gonna be cooked quickly with no problem. Okay, the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut up our onion, and then we're gonna grate some cheese. But I wanna get the onion, I wanna do some sauteed onion, so I wanna get that started in my pan. So I'm gonna just cut this guy in half. I don't need to use the whole thing. If you're feeding a lot of people, go ahead and do the whole thing, because when you saute them down in a pan, it does shrink down a bit, so you're not gonna have the same amount. So I'm just making a couple of these today. Just a couple of my kids are around, and so we're just gonna have a couple of these. Here I go. I'm just cutting these into some thin slices like this. Yep, just like that. There. And, last piece. Cut that up right there. Okay, I got that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put these in my pan, and while I'm grating the cheese, this is gonna be cooking in the pan. So we're doing 2 things at one time. That's called multitasking. I'm not the greatest at it, but I can do it today. All right, so over here, we're gonna just turn up my pan, or turn on the heat in my pan. Get some olive oil. You can use vegetable oil, olive oil, anything you want to use in that. I've got my onions. I'm gonna let the pan heat up just for a few minutes. You wanna keep your hand right over the pan, and when you feel the heat from the pan, okay, that's ready. And my pan got hot fast, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that right in there. So now that's gonna be cooking, and while that's cooking, we're gonna grate some cheese. Now, you can go ahead and use cheese that's already shredded from the store. Save yourself an extra couple of minutes. I just think that when you get it from the block, it melts better. So, and this is not gonna take any time at all. I like, in this recipe, I happen to really like a pepper jack. You could use cheddar, of course. You can use provolone, whatever your favorite cheese is. That's the nice thing about these things. Like, whatever your family likes, use what you guys like. I've got a pepper jack, I've got a white cheddar in here. We're just gonna use that up. I'm gonna get this cheese out of my way. I'm gonna get my grater out of the way. We're almost ready to make this. Put this together. You see how quick that was? What was that? It was just a couple of minutes because we did most of the work the night before with the chicken. So, super, super quick. We got our cheese ready to go. We got our chicken. I'm gonna transfer this over to here. All right. So now we've got this stuff ready to go by our pan. I'm gonna stir up these onions. I'm gonna give them a little bit of salt. Just, it helps them cook down, gives them some flavor. You always wanna make sure we have flavor in whatever we're cooking. I'm gonna grab my tortillas out of my fridge. And you're thinking, why are your tortillas in your fridge? It's because I buy these tortillas that are just raw, and we cook them up on the stove, and then I put them back in the fridge. We love these guys. Now, I probably should have taken these out a little while ago, but that's all right. We're gonna use them anyways. Okay, my onions are cooking down. This probably takes to cook your onions down maybe 5 minutes. It's not gonna take long at all. But the aroma is starting to smell good in here. While those are still cooking down, I've got my tortillas ready to go. I'm gonna tell you about my mango salsa and my chipotle mayo. So, over here, this is what's gonna go on top of the quesadilla when it's all done. This is my mango salsa. I actually have another video with the mango salsa. It's just mango, red onion, jalapeno, lime juice, and cilantro. A little bit of salt. That's all that is. You chop up your mango, you chop up your red onion, some cilantro, and you dice up your jalapeno really fine, add a little salt, presto bango, mango salsa. Ooh, that was fun. Presto bango, mango salsa. I like that. And then, the next thing that I have on hand, this is my chipotle mayo. And you can do this ahead of time. Just like the mango salsa you can do ahead of time, you can do this ahead of time too. I just took a really good store-bought mayo. I put it in my blender. I added some chipotle peppers in adobo sauce and a couple of roasted garlic cloves. I stuck it in my blender. I blended it all up, and then I put it in a squeeze bottle to make it really convenient to squeeze out when we're doing sandwiches or we're doing our quesadillas or whatever we're doing. It's just more convenient than digging my hand in a jar. So when we go to put these on at the end, that's how you know these were done. Super easy. This took me a total of 3 minutes to blend up. So quick, so easy, and so much. It adds so much flavor to your sandwiches or whatever you're making. Today I made some roasted potatoes for breakfast with some ham. And I added chipotle mayo to my ketchup for my roasted potatoes. And it was delicious. So, all right, I'm gonna start to heat up my cast iron pan. It's not a grill, but it is a pan. You don't have to have a cast iron. You can just do a regular pan. Whatever you have, use what you have. That's what I love about cooking. You don't have to have the fancy things. Use what you have. use the food that you have. Use the pans and the skillets you have. You don't have to go to the store and buy anything special. Just use what you have, and it will work just fine. Okay, these onions are almost done. We've got to get this pan nice and hot, and that will be good. Now, normally with a quesadilla, if I'm just making a regular cheese quesadilla for my kids for lunch, I will use a little bit of butter in the pan, and then I'll put the tortilla down, then cheese, and then the other tortilla, and we just cook it with butter, and it gets nice and crispy on the outside. These tortillas are going to be, these quesadillas are going to be a little bit heavier because they're going to have cheese, they're going to have the chicken and the grilled onions in them. And so I don't really want some extra grease, the butter that gets in that pan, I don't want that on there. So I'm actually just going to use a cooking spray in my pan. What I really want is I want a crispy outside flour shell, and I want the melty cheese on the inside. So that's going to be really important not to get too much butter or too much oil in your pan, because then your tortilla is going to end up soggy because you have a lot of stuff going on the inside. You don't want soggy, you want kind of crisp. So, oh, we're getting there. Okay, this is very close to being done. I'm going to spray this pan right now. Then I'm going to put down my tortilla like so. I'm going to take my cheese. We're going to do tortilla, cheese, first and foremost cheese, and we're going to end with cheese because this cheese is going to be like glue. It's going to keep everything on the inside together. It's going to be all melty and gooey, and that's exactly what we're looking for. So while that is doing its magic, we're going to add our other things. I'm going to add my chicken right now. That barbecue chicken with that barbecue sauce on it. It's going to be delicious. If you had cilantro, you could throw some cilantro on the inside of this too. It would be delicious. Okay, my chicken, and now my onions are done. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some onions right on top of this. And you could use white onions, yellow onions. I happen to have a red onion. I'm using that. So that's perfect. Probably got enough for 3 tortillas on this guy. Okay, now we're going to end with some more cheese. So right on top, a little more cheese. Just like this. Okay. Voila. Now, let's put our tortilla shell on top of that and kind of give it a little smush. Yep. That's what we're doing. I'm going to get my phone here and show you guys what this is looking like on the inside. Maybe I am. Right there. Look at that. That's the first process right there. It's doing its thing. It's cooking. It's looking nice and warm. I think I got it. I got it! Okay. Here we go. We're almost ready to flip it. This is the challenging part because it's a little thicker. It doesn't just flip so easy. It's a little heavy, and so it may want to collapse. So this part's a little scary, but we can do it. I'm going to turn it. So usually on your burners, you have a bigger burner, and then you usually have some smaller burners. And sometimes your pan might be bigger than the burner, so you might have one side that cooks a little more than the other side. The great thing about these tortillas is you can just press it down and then just give it a little turn so that it gets all the sides nice and evenly cooked. Yep, okay. So my hand is going on top. I got my spatula to go right underneath. And then we're gonna flip it over. Here we go, wish me luck. Here we go, here we go. Ta-da! Nice, perfect. I can see that the cheese has already started to melt on the bottom half. I got a plate. I'm gonna put this on my plate. We're gonna take it over to the cutting board, and then we're gonna cut it on the cutting board, and then I'm gonna do the jujus with the mayo and the mango salsa. And then we're gonna get to taste it, the best part, right? It's the part my kids love the most. They're all waiting around like, Mom, hurry up. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, here we go. Okay, I just want to cut it, so I'm going to go ahead and put that guy right on there. And then I'm going to cut it. I'm going to do this into quarters, I think. This is a good substantial meal. I'm telling you right now, this is good for lunch. This is good for a light dinner. Serve this with some chips and salsa, maybe a salad. Man, that was so quick. And you've got dinner on the table, you've got lunch on the table. I'm gonna just kind of give this a good squirt right here. Guys, so delicious. We're just gonna give this it's kind of blocked. Sometimes it gets a chipotle stuck in there. I don't like it when it does that. There we go. Move the chipotle. Okay, we're just gonna give that a squeeze. Chipotle stuck again. It's all right. All right, here we go. Then I'm gonna take and put some mango salsa right on there. Oh yeah. And the combination of the mangoes and the barbecue sauce is so good. Oh, one last thing I'm gonna add on here. I'm gonna put some, what is this cheese called? Becca, tell me what the name of this cheese is. I forget. I can't remember. Cojita?
Yeah.
I'm probably not saying it right. It's a Mexican cheese. Well, you can't go wrong with more cheese, right? Double the cheese, double the yumminess. You can never go wrong with more cheese. And that's a Mexican, really crumbly cheese. Okay, now my favorite part. Now we're gonna taste it. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited about this. Okay, this is a good one. That's it. I don't know how quick that was, but I am telling you, if you don't want to be cooking in your kitchen this summer, this is the quickest thing to do. We're gonna have a whole summer series going on. We're gonna do some quick and easy. We've got definitely 4 recipes to do with the chicken, but then I'm gonna have some other easy things to do this summer for you to cook up that you don't have to be spending a ton of time or a ton of heat in your kitchen. Okay, here we go. That's so good.
You've been watching the Paxton Pantry with Faith Paxton. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook, or go to our website, Paxton.Pantry.com, for more information.